Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Members of the ruling PDP-Laban party pushed through with their council meeting despite opposition from party leaders and Senators Manny Pacquiao and Coco Pimentel. Jenny Dongon joins us over the phone for the details. Jenny, what happened today? What's the latest from PDP-Laban?
Sean, majority of the PDP-Laban National Council members adopted a resolution rejecting the expulsion of 3 of its party mates, including Vice Chairman and Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi. Members of the ruling PDP-Laban party met here in Clark, Pampanga for the National Council meeting this afternoon and the National Assembly on Saturday. 139 out of 159 members of the National Council signed a resolution rejecting the expulsion of Cusi, Deputy Secretary General Melvin Matibag, and its membership committee head as a Nai. This is in response to the resolution issued by the Pacquiao-led National Executive Committee, which accused the 3 PDP-Laban members of violating the party's bylaws. Committee reports will be discussed today, while the new PDP-Laban officers will be elected tomorrow. PDP-Laban Secretary General Melvin Matinag once again insisted that the meeting was legal and authorized, contrary to the claims of Senators Pacquiao and Coco Pimentel. Matibag also denied claims that they are going to expel members during the assembly. PDP-Laban members have the option to attend the events virtually and physically. So far, 139 out of 159 members of the National Council are either virtually and physically present this morning or this afternoon. President Duterte, who sits as the PDP-Laban chairman, is also expected to attend the National Assembly tomorrow, where an election of officers will be conducted. Sean.
All right, thank you, and stay safe down there in Clark, Pampanga. That was News 5's Jenny Dongon over the line. And the Health Department has reported 5,600 new COVID-19 cases on Friday. Some 48,400 infections are still active out of the 1.5 million total caseload. 162 more people died of COVID in the last 24 hours, bringing the death toll to 26,400. On the flip side, 2,600 new recoveries were recorded overnight. And the Philippine Heart Center has expanded its laboratory services for patients dealing with heart disease. JC Cosico has the full story.
Heart disease remains to be the top cause of death in the Philippines. Data from the Philippine Statistics Authority show that more than 100,000 Filipinos died of ischemic heart disease in 2020. With this, the Philippine Heart Center is pushing to expand its cardiac catheterization laboratory to accommodate more patients in need of heart procedures.
Not only that we do procedures for ischemic heart disease, for congenital, for cardiomyopathies, for valvular heart diseases, we need also to study them before we plan out the surgical intervention that will be done.
The Heart Center takes advantage of technology with its new equipment called Azurion with Flex Arm, which provides expanded and better imaging for diverse procedures.
So dito kami nagsiset kung anong gusto naming lumabas doon. Even kung anong gusto naming i-display ng mga images. Okay. And dito na rin, pwede na rin kami sumukat. So yung mga size ng mga vessel, pwede namin. Sir, yes sir. Oh. Pwede kong paliitin. Pwede kong palakihin. Halimbawa, maliit, may bara, may stenosis. So mas makikita niya ng mas maganda kung palalakihin ko yung image.
Doctors and patients will also be able to save time and effort through the new equipment.
It is more flexible, no? Whereas before you have to move the patient from one position to another to see what you need to see. With the flexi arm, it is the machine that moves and adjusts to the patient.
PHC Executive Director Joel Labanilla adds, the Azurion with Flex Arm will require less amount of dye needed for angiogram to see a patient's blood vessels.
Dye is toxic and it can possibly be a problem in patients with kidney malfunction. So it will be safer. Yun ang ini-inject siya sa ugat para ma-visualize yung ugat doon sa screen or sa nagpipick up na what do you call that, the projector kumbaga.
From the average of 30, the center will be able to increase its daily heart procedure capacity to 50. The Health Department has welcomed these developments.
Ito rin ay isang training ground para sa mga doktor natin na nagpapakadalubhasa para maging heart specialist. Kung ganang mas mabilis ang response, mas malaki ang chances ng survival. Yun naman yung ating habol doon.
The Philippine Heart Center reminds patients not to be afraid to personally consult doctors, assuring them that safety protocols are in place to avoid the spread of COVID-19 in the hospital. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after this short break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Some food establishments in Metro Manila are coming up with ways to make al fresco dining more convenient while also ensuring the safety of customers. Laila Pangilinan with the story.
As the government further eases COVID-19 restrictions, many establishments are stepping up their games to ensure that minimum health standards are still followed. One mall in Taguig has made dining out for cyclists extra convenient. Market installed 10 bike racks with tabletops, allowing cyclists to dine in at the Al Fresco Central Plaza without having to leave their bikes.
Sakto lang siya sa height din. So sakto din sa paning pwesto ng table. Ay, malaking tulong po kasi dito lang ako nagbabike. So pag kailangan kumain, diba? Mas convenient siya kaysa dun sa nakatayo ka lang.
Bikers say that aside from the convenience, the initiative also helps them save time and money.
Hindi na natin kailangan iwan yung bike natin sa parking. Siyempre, hassle din kasi talaga na iiwan mo pa siya doon, tapos para lang kumain, tapos babalikan mo pa ulit, hassle yun, tsaka may bayad din kasi sa parking lot pag bike. Laking tipid na rin po sa aming mga bikers yun, ma'am, pili ng tubig.
The Central Plaza stop-bike area is sanitized regularly as part of the mall's health and safety procedures. As for those planning to bring their kids out, a garden restaurant in Marikina might be the top choice. Aside from kids, senior citizens as well as pets are also welcome under certain conditions.
Yung bata po, allowed namin 5 years old and above. Tapos, pets, pwede po basta may diaper po. Opo, allowed naman po namin. Tapos sa seniors po, basta fully vaccinated, okay na po.
The area can also be a venue for special occasions like weddings and birthdays and can accommodate up to 30 people. To ensure the safety of customers, the restaurant staff have all been inoculated.
Gusto po ng mga boss namin, ni Chef Des, saka ni Sir Mike, na fully vaccinated na yung mga staff. Confident din yung mga guests na para malaman nila na talagang fully vaccinated na hindi na sila matatakot.
For News 5, Laila Pangilinan, We Are One News.
Right, let's move on now to other stories we're keeping our eyes on. More immunized inbound travelers will be able to go through the shortened 7-day quarantine after the Philippines updated its list of green countries. Azerbaijan, Barbados, Bermuda, and 8 other nations have been added to the list of more than 50 territories that are low risk for COVID-19. The Budget Department has clarified that government funds, including around 160 billion pesos for infrastructure and social aid, are not being withheld. Responding to allegations of some lawmakers, the DBM says it remains committed to ensuring that funds are readily available for the public. And Vice President Leni Robredo has called on the public, including those who are already fully vaccinated, to not be complacent after the detection of local Delta cases. Robredo also urged the government to fast-track the deployment of COVID-19 vaccines and roll out more incentives to boost inoculation. The Vice President will once again team up with the city government of Manila for the OVP's Vaccine Express or Drive-Through Vaccination Initiative. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.